Talk about that a little bit later on, but so it's sunny today, but
and of course next weekend Celta Vigo are
a tasty one. But who obviously missed a couple of weeks as well with a knee injury before the international break. I think will possibly be, I'm not saying a shoe-in, but certainly have a good chance of being first in Champions League.
Do you think that's one reason Messi and Iniesta are indeed on the bench today with one eye on that game?
I think Iniesta's getting a bit of a rest, but I just don't think he wants to risk Leo Messi.
And Barca really having to work their way out of their own half here. Neymar doing well, but
just about that. He's never said which way he'd vote, and he's made a point of that.
Free kick now, and it's obviously you can tell when the internationals are on, it can be a slow news week, and the sleep way that it's holding up the game, the treatment on that far side. There's the replay of the foul as Neymar just had his legs clipped by Mosquera.
Very clear foul by Mosquera. Intelligent football as there is, actually. He is very smart.
The president of the club, Carlos Puyol, another who's been tipped to return at some point in the future. At this present moment, it's Neymar, who's got rid of his blonde locks and returned to a more traditional haircut. And Jeremy Mathieu also over this free kick. And more than likely, it will be Neymar as the referee there. Mistakenly identified, but is indeed Mr. Sanchez Martinez. Neymar from 25 yards, just over the bar onto the roof of Herman Lux's net. Perhaps an early sighter from the Brazilian. Turned away of the knock that he did receive on international duty. The plaster that remains just above the right eye of Neymar. Just got it up and over the five-man Depor wall down in time. Or enough to test the goal. Depor came from 2 goals behind last. Defensive work for Luis Enrique's side. Now Neymar on the left, given time and space by Laura.
All around. Jeremy Mathieu, when he first came to Spain with Valencia, was a left-sided midfielder who could also play in a central role. So it's not as if these are like...
That he's been targeted by Depor whenever he receives the ball from Ter Stegen. But you can see the pressure really being applied. Barca.
But Barca are still a little bit slow moving the ball around.
Rack up a Depor decide to push out, or indeed do lose their focus. Neymar
still quite young, has to be said, for a goalkeeper.
We've got the 27-year-old Neymar did strike the crossbar early on. Here is the Brazilian. They're looking for options again. Neymar trying the 1-2.
But it's not very much a free race.
It's in the centre of the park next to Gerard Piqué as the Barca number 3 finds Neymar. Arda now pushing up with play. On this near side, Neymar collecting the ball midway inside the Depor half, and even you can see here he's having problems just...
Well, if they wanted him to. But one of the big talking points about the day is, despite having Sergio Roberto injured, looking for solutions rather than putting in his squad Alex Vidal, who they signed from Sevilla just over a season ago, and just looks to be very, very...
Also have the free kick on that far side. 5 players attacking the area. The cross is a good one. It's to the head of Piqué from point-blank range, and then turned in. And it's Rafinha again. Second goal of the game for the Brazilian. Herman Lux did superbly well to keep out Piqué's virtually point-blank header, but he could do nothing about the rebound, the Deportivo keeper. And in the 36th minute, it's
have a cunning plan. They'll go 2 goals down. See, they've got Iniesta and Messi who could come off the bench. Whereas Depor, they're doing what they can, really.
They are really, as Neymar gets the cross, probably hoping that Luis Enrique leaves his arrival as late as possible. So a tight schedule for Luis Enrique's side. Paco Alcacero's...
Oh, lovely.
Luis Enrique! Luis Suarez finds the bottom corner of the net. A free-flowing move, opened up the Depor back line. And Luis Suarez, who's had a couple of chances so far in this game, produces a clinical finish and may well have won the game for Barca before the half-time break.
Yeah, I said 2-0, what we were saying, you can get a goal, and
I think they will be slightly concerned. I'm just hoping that in the second, Rafinha doing some great defensive work there to stop the visitors from breaking, and they're on the defensive once more as Neymar flicks it in.
Depor a shot right now. That's the
plan from Gaisca got it. And whilst of course goal difference doesn't count, it's of course on that lowest level here at Camp Nou, it is so often the case. Such as Garitano as the new coach. And whether or not he survives the entire season will of course depend on Depor.
Hang on a second.
Rafinha just had the ball taken off his foot there by Neymar, ricocheted up and off.
Money. They lost their best player, Lucas, right on the edge of Dano by saying, yeah, okay, you're not suspended, but this is one of you for you to think about.
Neymar does exceptionally well to get it out from the left-back position, makes his way up and into midfield before just having his midfield Elche before joining Deportivo last year. Came up through the ranks with Real Madrid, didn't make the grade.
It's got a screaming winning goal today for Seville, away to Leganés, if you haven't seen it. Sevilla's first away win in La Liga since May 2015.
And Rafinha on a hat-trick, maybe slightly unfair to consider withdrawing him. And that ball in looking for...
Yeah, there isn't Paco Alcácer. He's a striker who will come into the game, will touch the ball 3 times and score twice, whereas the other Barca players are all a little bit unbabble, and of course it is. 29 years old now. Player who really promised, looked really promising when he first all over for him. He's got a chance. He scored the winning goal in their last game.
Try and supply Florin Andoni with some midfield. Messi up just behind Alcácer there as the attack continues with through ball, and Messi already in, and he's already scored his 17th career goal against Deportivo, and that's how easy he makes it look. 4-0, and the fans were hoping to get a glimpse of Lionel Messi back after 3 games out. One decent through ball and a superb finish from a really acute angle from the Argentine.
Some cute finish from an acute angle, really, isn't it? Is that his first touch, basically? Lovely, lovely pass. Great move, and look, almost
into the 6-yard area, headed away by Piqué, and now Neymar will look to try and break, and he does, as the stumble allows the Brazilian to move forward. Out
Neymar.
Perhaps if there had been a runner down his right-hand side rather than the 3 over the far, he might have tried to find them.
But you see, maybe at Valencia, he is going to need time to adapt to it. At Valencia, the move was more fluid. It was from
Laura in the process. Up in the shape of Andone and Babel. Deciding just to see if they can nick a goal themselves to restore a slight amount of pride to the scoreline. Almost at eye level with the pitch. Not the best view from in the all-time classification in the few minutes before the break, and then of course Lionel Messi coming off the bench to add a 4th goal with an exquisite finish.
Someone's in trouble.
Laura it was across there, and it's a red card. Players, when he does eventually appear, there's the first challenge from Laura. Gets up.
He has put a bit, I don't know if he's hitting that hard, but he's definitely put an elbow on him. And it's raised, he's looking to make the contact, isn't he? It's often.
With around 23 minutes of this game still to go, Barca back to Rakitic. Rakitic trying to pull the strings and find an opening. Neymar now looking for options. Alcácer in between the central defender.
Get an easy win after what happened in Vigo. To be honest, I don't think, however, this solves or really answers many of the questions that were raised by some of Barcelona's defeats this season. They haven't really had to defend at all. We'll learn a lot more, I think, against Manchester City. And
Barcelona trying to work their way down the left of the area.
He's a very useful squad player to have. In fact, it's a very good save from Lux. Very good save.
Final 18 and a half minutes or so, plus what the referee adds on as Piqué into the...
Oh, don't they? I mean, we're seeing Piqué playing almost as a centre forward in these recent last few...
Leg. The benefit of the doubt given Neymar now in, thought about the shot with the left foot. Of course, as we say, playing with 10 men. Laure sent off for the elbow on Mock that surrounds that Depor rear guard. Almost every player back on the edge of the area as Neymar breaks, and he's just eased out of it by Fernando Navarro, who's not too happy with the Brazilian's arms going up. And as I say, Fernando Navarro really putting in a bit of a shift in the last few minutes. Barca.
Say a player who had a season.
Certainly was. He spent 8 seasons with Sevilla. Now Neymar flicking it back to up. Neymar.
They're obviously tiring now, and there's gaps appearing between the defence.
Another ball that he became so accustomed to receiving at Valencia.
Adaptation in.
Neymar now down the left, and Navarro, his opponent once again. Up wide to Neymar. Neymar waiting for the overlap. Of course, after losing in the last round against Celtic, the shot from Neymar whizzes over the bar.
Three three.
Was drawing. 3-3. Now the Barca find themselves with slightly more space going forward, but Depor do quickly regroup, and Neymar going to clip it back to Digne. It's a familiar scenario for the Blaugranas. That's to try and ward off Barca, but Neymar thought about going from distance. He makes his way along.
English translation. It's Guardiola coming back to the camp now, if you can imagine his Morbo.
Real went for goal himself, and again like Paco Alcacer a few minutes ago, gets that well over the top, and that will be offside. Mateo, I think, got the slightest of touches.
A save from Ter Stegen, which is borne out by those stats there. 11 shots on target for Barcelona, not 1 for Depor.
Neymar just edging away, go across to take the corner. Superb control there from Neymar just to pull the ball down. And there he is trying to get past Fernando Navarro, does so. Real Madrid, of course, the league leaders at the beginning of the day, head to Real Betis spot. Goes all the way. Between 97, 98 and the 2003-04 campaign, Depor beat Barca no less than 8 times. Quick succession. Now just trying to play their way out of defence, but even Fernando Navarro is clearing by Neymar and out. Discussions going on. Quite what was being said, but Sanchez Martinez just moving the wall back 26 metres from goal.
It's not really well served by public transport, as well as it could be, the Barca ground.
No, the thousands that... number of challenges. Neymar just looking slightly confused by the whole hullabaloo. See here exactly what he did.
Might just catch him a little. Third goal on the stroke of half-time killed it, and it's just been one-way traffic all the second half. Saying that, one of the substitutions was Leo Messi's. So the only disappointments for Barca is that they haven't scored a fifth, still might do, and the Paco Alcacer has not managed to get his name on the score.
Scored none.